Ganesha Gita. Present you by GaneshaGita.com. By HinduMonastery.com. You can redistribute the material in any medium or format. Ganesha Gita. Chapter 1. Dialogue between Sutta and Shaunaka on the commencement of Ganesha Gita. Brahmaji said, "Thus, in ancient times, when the great sage Shaunaka asked, Sutaji described the Gita he had heard from the mouth of Vyasaji at that time. Sutaji said, 'O Lord, you have made me drink the nectar which is the essence of the 18 Puranas, but now I desire to drink an even more delicious and supreme nectar, by drinking which nectar humans become one with Brahman. O fortunate one, kindly narrate that nectar of yoga to me.' Vyasaji said, 'O Sutaji, I will now describe to you the Gita which illuminates the path of yoga, which was narrated by Ganeshaji upon the inquiry of King Varenya.' King Varenya said, 'O Lord of obstacles, O mighty armed one, O scholar of all knowledge, O knower of the essence of all scriptures, please describe to me the path of yoga.' Lord Ganesha said, 'O King, by my grace, your intellect has become pure and stable. Listen, I tell you the Gita filled with the nectar of yoga. The term yoga does not mean just yoga. It is not the attainment of wealth, nor the enjoyment of sensory pleasures, nor is it the perfection of the senses. O King, the union of mother and father is not called yoga. The 8 types of siddhis, the attainment of relatives and sons, are not yoga. Attaining an extremely beautiful woman is not yoga, nor is the attainment of a kingdom or elephants and horses. Attaining the position of Indra is not yoga, nor do I consider the desire for beloved perfections through yoga or the attainment of Satyaloka as yoga. O King, attaining the positions of Shiva, Vishnu, the sun, the moon, or Kubera is not called yoga. Attaining the forms of air, fire, gods, time, water, or the Lord of Death, or ruling over the entire earth is not yoga. O King, yoga is of many kinds, but true yoga is that by achieving which the wise conquer the sensory objects, live in celibacy, and become detached from the world. The wise, by their magnanimity, subdue the 3 worlds, purify the entire universe, their hearts are filled with compassion, and they impart knowledge to the worthy. They live as liberated beings, immersed in the lake of supreme bliss. Closing their eyes, they behold the supreme Brahman within their hearts, with their minds subdued by yoga. Meditating upon the supreme Brahman in their consciousness, they see all beings as equal to themselves, sometimes hiding themselves, sometimes oppressed by others, sometimes summoned by others, and sometimes living dependent on others with a compassionate heart, conquering anger, controlling their senses. These yogis wander the earth only to grace the worlds. Dear King, those who bear only the body, viewing clay, stone, and gold with equality, such great fortunate men through which yoga they become visible. I now tell you of that superior yoga. Listen, by hearing which one becomes free from sins and the cycle of birth and death. O King, the yoga which is the non-distinguishing consciousness in Shiva, Vishnu, Shakti, Sun, and myself Ganesha, that alone I consider true yoga. I, by my divine play, take on many forms and carry out the creation, preservation, and destruction of this world. O dear one, I am the great Vishnu, I am Sadashiva, I am the great Shakti, and I am the Sun. I alone am the Lord of humans. Vishnu, Shiva, Shakti, Sun, and Ganesha. In these 5 forms, I have existed since ancient times. I am the cause of the universe. Those who are ignorant do not know me. Fire, water, earth, sky, air, Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, guardians of the world, and the 10 directions, the 8 Vasus, sages, cows, manus, animals, rivers, oceans, yakshas, trees, flocks of birds, 21 heavens, serpents, 7 forests, humans, mountains, sadyas, siddhas, demons, etc., all have originated from me. I am the witness of all, the eye of the entire world, detached from all actions, unchangeable, immeasurable, unmanifest, pervasive in the whole world, and indestructible, O King. I am the imperishable, the essence of supreme bliss. My Maya deludes the entire world, and even the best of men. That Maya always entangles these beings in the 6 passions, such as desire, anger, etc. Through yoga, when gradually over many births, the doors of Maya are removed, then this being, awakening from the sensory objects and becoming detached from them, knows this Brahman, which cannot be cut by weapons, cannot be burned by fire, cannot be melted by water, cannot be dried by wind, and, O King, which does not perish, even when this body is destroyed. Those foolish ones who have faith in the 3 Vedas and only perform actions as prescribed, they praise only the fruits of actions described in the scriptures and do not accept anything else. For this reason, they continually perform actions that yield the fruits of birth and death. They remain engrossed in the enjoyment of the luxuries of heaven, and the consciousness of these pleasure-seeking individuals gets destroyed. O King, they themselves create their own bondage. These fools, devoted to actions out of attachment, remain trapped in the cycle of the world. One should offer all prescribed actions to me. Only then can the great sprouts of the seeds of actions of these beings be destroyed. The purification of the mind is the primary means to attain wisdom. Through wisdom the sages have known the supreme Brahman. O King, therefore, whatever action one performs, it should be done with intellect. No one should abandon their duty and their own dharma. If anyone abandons action, they will not achieve success. The first right to knowledge also comes from action. By performing actions with a pure heart, one attains non-distinguishing consciousness. This is what is called yoga, through which a being becomes immortal. O King, I tell you of another excellent yoga. Listen to it. One should view animals, friends, sons, enemies, relatives, and loved ones with equal regard, maintaining an equal vision inside and out, in joy and sorrow, anger, happiness, fear. These should all be met with equanimity. Whether one encounters disease or enjoyment, victory or defeat, gain or loss of wealth, profit or loss, birth or death, in all these, it is proper to keep the mind balanced, knowing me to be present equally within and without in all things, the sun, moon, water, fire, Shiva, Shakti, wind, Brahmins, lakes, great rivers that wash away sins, holy places, fields, Vishnu, all deities, yakshas, serpents, Gandharvas, humans, and birds, whosoever sees me, in all these with an equal eye, that one is known as the knower of yoga. O King, he who withdraws his senses from the objects through knowledge and maintains an equal mind everywhere, he is the yogi in my view. The being whose mind is attached to his duty by the will of fate develops the intellect to discern between the self and non-self. This intellect in yoga is named yoga, and without this intellect, this being gives up both dharma and adharma. Thus it is proper to engage the intellect in yoga. Proficiency in obligatory actions is yoga. The person who has conquered his senses and is wise, relinquishing the fruits of both dharma and adharma, becomes free from the bonds of birth and attains the unblemished supreme state. When this being's intellect is free from the darkness of ignorance, from avidya, then gradually this being develops dispassion towards the Vedic injunctions promoting desires. When the intellect, dispassionate from the actions described in the 3 Vedas, fully and unwaveringly engages in the Supreme Self, then the being attains yoga. O dear one, when this wise individual relinquishes all desires of the mind and is satisfied within himself in his own self, then he is said to have a steady intellect. He who has no craving for worldly pleasures is undisturbed in sorrow, devoid of fear, anger, and attachment, is known as one with a steady intellect. Just as a tortoise withdraws its limbs from all sides, it is proper for the yogi to withdraw his senses from the objects of sense. For the ascetic who renounces food, the objects of senses indeed disappear, but the taste for them remains. Upon attaining Brahman, even that taste is destroyed. O king, even the scholar striving for liberation, his mind is forcibly taken by the senses. Therefore the intelligent man should strive to control the senses. Controlling the senses, the yogi should always be devoted to me. He whose senses are under control is known as one with steady wisdom. The man who contemplates the objects of sense develops attachment for them. From attachment comes desire, and from desire arises anger. From anger comes delusion. From delusion comes loss of memory. From loss of memory the intellect is destroyed, and with the destruction of intellect, that being perishes. Yet he who moves among the sense objects with senses under control, free from attachment and aversion, and keeps his mind under control, such a great soul attains contentment and peace. With the attainment of contentment, all three types of suffering are destroyed. Thus the mind of such a yogi with steady wisdom remains joyful. O king, without a cheerful mind, intellect cannot be attained. Without intellect there is no faith. Without faith there is no peace. And without peace there is no happiness. Just as the wind submerges a boat in water, so does the mind, following behind the senses like uncontrollable horses wandering in the sense objects, take away one's wisdom. O king, for all creatures covered by ignorance, the knowledge of the self is like night. In it, the restrained yogis who control their senses are awake, while that in which all beings are awake, the pursuit of sensory objects, is like night for the wise. Just as all waters enter the ocean, yet it does not get fulfilled. Similarly, the individual intent on fulfilling all desires does not find peace. Therefore, it is proper for one to control the senses running towards sense objects in every way. Then his intellect becomes steady. The one who relinquishes possessiveness, ego, and all desires, and remains engrossed in constant knowledge, attains liberation through that knowledge. O king, even in old age, one who attains this intellect, imbued with knowledge of Brahman through divine destiny, he becomes liberated while living. Thus ends the 138th chapter of the description of the essence of yoga, named Sankhya Sagar, in the Kridakhanda of the glorious Ganesha Purana. Ganesha Gita, Chapter 2. Karma Yoga, the Yoga of Action. Varenya said, O Lord, you have described both the path of knowledge, Jnana Yoga, and the path of action, Karma Yoga. Please tell me which one among these two is definitively beneficial for welfare. Sri Gajanana spoke. O dear one, in ancient times I have laid down two disciplines, Sankhya Yoga for those adept in the discernment between the self and non-self, and Vedha Yoga, Karma Yoga, for those engaged in action like householders. By not performing prescribed actions, no one becomes inactive or achieves inaction. O king, merely abandoning actions does not lead to accomplishment. No one can remain without performing any action even for a moment. The three qualities of nature, sattva, rajas, tamas, invariably make everyone perform actions. He who controls his senses but mentally recalls the objects of the senses, that person with a mind lusting after sensory enjoyment, is called a hypocrite with petty behavior. O king, he who controls the senses by his mind and engages in karma yoga with his organs of action without desire, he is the superior person. Even performing actions without desire for fruits is better than not performing actions at all. because without some form of action, even the maintenance of the body would not be possible. Those beings who do not offer the fruits of their actions to me fall into bondage. Therefore, performing actions without desire, one should constantly offer the fruits of those actions to me to destroy the bondage of action. Actions performed for my sake never cause bondage anywhere, but those actions done with desire for fruits forcibly bind the creature. In ancient times, along with establishing the system of sacrifices, I created the Brahmin and other castes, saying, "O humans, flourish through sacrifice. This sacrifice, like the wish-fulfilling tree, shall grant you your desired accomplishments. You satisfy the gods with food, and let the gods satisfy you with rain," etc. By thus mutually nurturing each other, both the gods and you humans shall attain the highest and stable position. The gods, when pleased, fulfill the desired wishes. One who enjoys the gifts of the gods without worshipping them is a thief. Those who eat the remnants of the sacrifice done for the worship of gods are freed from all sins, while those who prepare food only for themselves essentially eat sin. Creatures are born from food, food comes from rain, rain comes from sacrifice, and sacrifice arises from prescribed duties. Action arises from Brahman, and Brahman originates from me. Therefore, O king, know that I am situated in this sacrifice and in the universe. The wise should strive to cross this cycle of birth and death, O king. The lowly creature finds happiness in the play of the senses within this cycle. He who finds delight in his inner self is the one who rejoices in the self and is beloved to all. For the one satisfied with the self, there remains no desire. Such a being, whether performing actions or not, does not incur good or evil fruits, and in all creatures there's nothing left for him to accomplish. O king, therefore, it is proper for beings to perform actions without attachment. The attached one falls into misfortune, while the unattached attains me. In ancient times, many royal sages and divine sages have achieved the highest accomplishment by performing actions. One should perform actions without attachment for the welfare of the world. The actions done by great men are followed by others. What they consider as proof, others also take as proof. O king, there is nothing in heaven or elsewhere that I desire to achieve through action, yet I engage in actions. And O wise one, if I were to act lazily or capriciously and not perform actions, all castes would abandon their duties and merely follow my example. Then, by acting so, all castes would become corrupt and would perish. Thus, I would be the cause of the world's destruction and responsible for the mixing of castes. Just as those with desires act out of ignorance, so should the wise act without attachment for the welfare of the world. They should abandon the divisive consciousness of those who act from ignorance, and, being united with yoga, offer all actions to me. O king, the person entangled in constant action, dominated by ignorance and the qualities of nature, foolishly considers himself as the doer due to ego. But he who knows the division of qualities like sattva, etc., and their actions, understanding that the senses engage with their subjects, does not get attached to actions. Those bewildered by the three qualities, sattva, rajas, tamas, perform actions desiring fruits. The omniscient should not disturb these self-deceivers, but should not be attached himself. Thus it is fitting for the wise to offer all daily and occasional rites to me, thereby relinquishing the sense of I and mine, leading to the highest state. Those devoted men who practice this virtuous path as I've described, free from envy, are liberated from all actions. Those who, due to the destruction of their mind through ignorance, do not follow this path, know them to be envious, foolish, and of ruined intellect, my enemies. When even the knowledgeable acts according to his nature and follows it, then any kind of control in this matter is futile. The objects of the organs of action and sense organs give rise to desire and anger. One should not come under their sway, for these are indeed the enemies of beings. Even if devoid of virtues, one's own duty is better. Following another's duty, even if well endowed with virtues, is not good. To die in one's own duty leads to welfare in the afterlife, but another's duty, though superior, brings fear. Varenya said, "O Ganesha, what drives a creature to commit sin? Even when there's no desire, by what force is he compelled to engage in sinful acts?" Sri Ganesha said, "These great sinners, desire and anger, born from the qualities of rajas and tamas, dominate people. Know these two as the great enemies, just as illusion covers the world, as vapor covers water, and as the monsoon cloud covers the sun, so have desire and anger covered everything. This desire, which is mightily strong, always hateful, and can never be fully satisfied, has covered even the intellect of the wise. This desire resides in the intellect, mind, and senses, covering knowledge with them, and it deludes even the knowledgeable. Therefore, one should first control the senses along with the mind, and then conquer this mind-born sinner, desire, which destroys knowledge and realization. The senses are superior to the gross body. Beyond the senses is the mind. Beyond the mind is the intellect, and beyond the intellect is the soul. Thus, knowing the soul to be beyond the intellect, and stabilizing the mind with intellect, one should slay the enemy in the form of desire and attain the supreme state. Thus ends the 139th chapter named Karma Yoga in the Kridakhanda of the glorious Ganesha Purana. Ganesha Gita, Chapter 3. Jnana Yoga, Yoga of Knowledge. Sri Ganesha spoke. In ancient times, at the time of creation, I, Ganesha, with three forms, Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, after creating the universe of three qualities, instructed this supreme yoga to Vishnu, the sustainer of the world. Vishnu relayed this yoga to the sun. The sun told it to his son Vaivasvata Manu. From him, this yoga was obtained through tradition by the great sages. O king, in the Kali Yuga, after much time had passed, this yoga was lost. It was deemed unworthy of faith and reverence by the people of that age. Now, you have heard from my mouth this ancient yoga, which is most secretive, highly beneficial, and the essence of all Vedas. King Varenya said, "O elephant-faced one, you have just been born from the womb. How and when did you describe this supreme yoga to Vishnu?" Ganesha said, "O king, many of your and my births have passed. I remember all of them, but you do not. O mighty armed one, from me Vishnu and other deities have originated, and at the time of dissolution, they merge back into me, cycle after cycle.
I am Vishnu and Brahma. I am the great Rudra. I am all that is stationary and moving, the entire universe.
I am unborn, indestructible, the eternal Lord of all beings, and residing in the three-qualited Maya, I take on various incarnations. Whenever there is an increase in unrighteousness and a decline in righteousness, I incarnate to protect the good, destroy the wicked. I destroy the cluster of Adharma, establish Dharma, and joyfully perform various divine plays, slaying the wicked and the demons who harm Dharma. Taking many forms, I protect the Varnas, ashramas, sages, and saints. Thus he who knows my divine glory, my actions, valor, and forms in each age, and abandons the sense of I and mine, he becomes liberated. Many have attained me, purified by insight and penance, being desireless, fearless, free from anger, dependent on me, and worshipping only me. Excellent people serve me with whatever sentiment, and I, the imperishable Supreme Self, surely grant them the corresponding reward. O King, they behave in a way that others might follow, treating both themselves and others in accordance with my path. People in this world worship gods desiring the fruits of their actions, and according to their actions, they quickly achieve success. O sinless one, in the mortal world, I have created the four varnas from the qualities of sattva, rajas, tamas, and from the portions of actions. Although I am the creator of these, the wise know me as non-doer. They consider me as beginningless, the Lord eternal, and detached from the qualities of actions. He who knows me as desireless does not get bound by karma. Knowing this, ancient sages performed actions, understanding that desire, which is the root and firm cause of the worldly cycle, and the very bondage of ignorance once known, a being becomes free from all bonds. What is action and what is inaction? I shall now tell you. Even the intelligent seers, obtaining confusion in knowing this, have remained silent. O dear one, those desiring liberation must know the essence of action, inaction, and forbidden action, for all three are indeed forms of karma. Understanding their ways is greatly difficult. He who perceives inaction in action, and action in inaction, he alone, even while performing all actions in this world, becomes liberated. He who has burnt his power of action in the fire of the knowledge of truth, and having abandoned the seed of karma through resolve, engages in the performance of actions. Such wise individuals are called pundits by the learned. Those who, having abandoned the desire for fruits, remain ever content even without means. Even if they engage in actions, they do nothing. Those who are without desire have conquered the self and have relinquished all possessions. Even if they perform actions while living at home, no sin touches them. They, devoid of duality and envy, see success and failure equally and remain satisfied with whatever comes their way. Such beings, while performing actions, do not get entangled. All actions of a person freed from all subjects and endowed with knowledge and realization are sacrifices. All his activities dissolve. The fire, the oblation, the one offering, and the offering that is presented to me, all are myself. Understanding this, he attains Brahman, for he resides in Brahman. Some yogis consider the sacrifice to gods as sacrifice. Others consider offering into the fire of Brahman as sacrifice. O king, some yogis offer the senses like hearing into the fire of control. Others offer the objects of senses like sound into the fire of senses. Some others offer all senses, actions, and the breath into the blazing fire of dispassion kindled by knowledge. Some perform sacrifice with material possessions, some with austerity, some with study, some great souls with severe vows, and some with knowledge. Those who offer the prana life breath into apana with inhalation and apana into prana with exhalation, and by practicing retention halt the movement of prana and apana, they are absorbed in pranayama. Others, with regulated diet, offer the 5 pranas into each other in sacrifice. Thus, various types of yogis, through different forms of sacrifice, destroy sins by sacrifice. Others always consume the ambrosial remnants of sacrifice and attain the eternal Brahman. For those who do not perform sacrifices, even this world is not attainable. How then can they achieve the next? Others, by regulating their diet, offer the 5 pranas into each other. Thus, through various types of sacrifices, these wandering yogis destroy sins by means of sacrifice. Yet others, consuming the ambrosial remnants of sacrifice daily, attain the eternal Brahman. For those who do not perform sacrifices, even this world is not attainable. How then can the next world be? O king, in the Vedas, sacrifices of 3 kinds, physical, verbal, mental, have been expounded. Understanding them fully, you will be freed from all bonds. O King, of all sacrifices, the sacrifice of knowledge is supreme. For those seeking liberation, all actions dissolve in the sacrifice of knowledge. O best of men, obtain that knowledge sacrifice through service to the virtuous, through prostration, and through inquiry. The knowers of truth, the wise, will instruct you in this knowledge. He who associates with various types but does not once associate with a sage, he gets bound in the world. From the company of the good, one gains virtues, destroys calamities, and obtains welfare in this world and the next. O King, all else is easily attainable, but the company of the good is very rare. It is necessary to know that by which one does not return to the bondage of the world. From good company, when knowledge is attained, the seeker sees all beings in himself. Through this yoga of knowledge, even the most sinful creature gets liberated. Just as fierce fire turns everything to ashes in a moment, similarly, in the fire of knowledge, both sinful and virtuous actions are instantly destroyed. O King, there is nothing as purifying as knowledge. The great souls who have achieved yoga realize this knowledge through the practice of yoga in due time. Only a devoted person who has control over the senses and is diligent can attain knowledge, and upon gaining knowledge, he soon attains liberation. He who is devoid of devotion, lacks faith, and has a doubtful mind everywhere, does not achieve prosperity, nor gains knowledge, and his life in this world and the next is ruined. O King, those who are engrossed in self-knowledge, who have dispelled all doubts with knowledge, and whose actions have diminished due to being established in yoga, they are not bound. Therefore, with the sword of knowledge, one should forcefully cut the doubts born of ignorance in the mind, and it is right for a man to take refuge in yoga. Thus, chapter 140, named Jnana Yoga in the Kridakhanda of the glorious Ganesha Purana, is complete. Ganesha Gita, chapter 4, Vaida Sannyasa Yoga, the Yoga of Renunciation. Varenya spoke. O Lord, you have said that renunciation of action, performing actions without attachment until one's mind is purified, is the cause of knowledge, and then again you say that the yoga of action is also the cause of knowledge. Please tell me which of the two is beneficial. Ganesha replied, both the yoga of action and the renunciation of action, depending on the eligibility, are means to liberation, but between the two, the yoga of action has its superiority. He who always tolerates duality and sorrow, harbors no hatred, and has no desire, such a being easily gets liberated from the bondage of actions. Only the ignorant and deluded consider renunciation of action and the yoga of action as separate, but the wise consider them as one. The result obtained through renunciation of action is also obtained through the yoga of action. He who knows renunciation and action as one is the true knower. The wise do not merely call the abandonment of action as renunciation. If the yogi performs actions without attachment, he becomes Brahman itself. Those yogis with pure minds, who control their minds, have conquered their senses, are steadfast in yoga, and see the soul in all beings, do not get attached even while performing actions. The knower of truth, endowed with yoga, does not consider himself as the doer. Rather, he believes that the actions are performed by the 11 organs, including the mind. He who dedicates all actions to Brahman does not get attached to sin or merit, just as the reflection of the sun in water is not affected by the water. Those wise in yoga, for the sake of mental purity, perform actions with body, speech, intellect, senses, and mind, giving up the desire for fruits. The one devoid of yoga performs actions with a desire for results, gets bound by the seeds of action, and thus experiences suffering. It is appropriate for the yogi to renounce all actions mentally, and to reside comfortably in excellent cities or in caves obtained through past actions. He neither does anything with desire, nor causes it to be done, and knows that he neither performs any action, nor has any doership in him, nor does he create anything, nor has any connection with the seeds of action. All this happens by the power that is by nature itself. O King, I, the omnipresent soul, am not touched by anyone's merit or sin. Only the ignorant with deluded intellect get attached to delusion. Those who have themselves destroyed ignorance through discrimination, their supreme knowledge shines like the sun. Those whose faith and intellect are in me, whose minds are extremely attached to me, and who are always devoted to me, such excellent ones, through superior knowledge, destroy sin and attain liberation. Great souls who are wise, endowed with knowledge and realization, regard a Brahman, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and an outcast equally. Those whose minds are established in equanimity have conquered the world and heaven, because Brahman is devoid of faults and is characterized by equality, hence they abide in Brahman. The great souls, who neither rejoice nor grieve at obtaining the pleasant or the unpleasant, are the knowers, established in Brahman, and know Brahman through equanimity. Vairagya said, O Lord, what is true happiness in the three worlds, and among the divine and celestial beings? O Master of knowledge, please describe this to me. Ganesha said, those who delight in their own souls and are not attached elsewhere, they indeed experience bliss. That is called imperishable happiness. There is no true happiness in objects. Happiness derived from objects is the cause of sorrow, and is subject to birth and destruction. The knowers of truth do not get attached to it. He who controls the impulses of desire, anger, etc., even when they arise, and strives to conquer them while being unattached to the body, enjoys happiness for a long time. He whose heart has devotion, the light of knowledge, happiness, and dispassion, and who works for the welfare of all beings, surely attains the imperishable Brahman. Those who have conquered the 6 enemies like desire and anger, who practice tranquility and self-restraint, such knowers of the self see Brahman everywhere. Having abandoned all external objects, sit in solitude, fix your gaze between the eyebrows, and perform pranayama. Pranayama is said to be the regulation of the life breath. Wise sages have described it as having 3 kinds. According to proportion, pranayama is of 3 kinds: minor, medium, and excellent. The pranayama of 12 syllables is minor, that of 24 syllables is medium, and that of 36 syllables is considered excellent. Just as one subdues a lion, a tiger, or a drunken elephant and brings it under control, so should one practice with prana and apana. O King, just as these beasts torment others but do not harm those who control them, so this breath, when steadied through pranayama, destroys sins but does not burn the body. Just as a man ascends steps gradually, so is it fitting for a yogi to gradually control prana and apana. By practicing inhalation, retention, and exhalation, this being becomes the knower of past, present, and future in this world. From 12 excellent pranayamas, excellent concentration arises. By 2 concentrations, yoga is achieved. Therefore, the yogi should constantly practice concentration. O King, those who practice in this way gain knowledge of the 3 times, and effortlessly the 3 worlds come under their control. He sees the entire universe as Brahman within his own self. Thus, both the renunciation of action and the yoga of action yield the same results. Knowing me, the Lord, who am beneficial to all beings, the giver of the fruits of action, and pervading the 3 worlds, one becomes liberated. Thus ends chapter 141, named Vaidha Sannyasa Yoga in the Kridakhanda of the glorious Ganesha Purana. Ganesha Gita, chapter 5. Praise of the practice of yoga. Ganesha spoke. O King, he who performs the actions prescribed in the Shruti and Smriti without desire for their fruits is superior to those yogis who renounce actions. O mighty armed one, in my opinion, For the attainment of yoga, actions are the cause. For the achievement of yoga's perfection, tranquility and self-restraint are the causes. He who performs actions while contemplating on sense objects is an enemy to his own soul, and he who performs actions without desiring them attains perfection in yoga. The soul alone is the friend and the enemy of the soul. This knowledge leads to liberation, while ignorance of this binds there is no other. One should maintain the same attitude towards respect and disrespect, happiness and sorrow, kin and saints, friends and foes, neutral persons, hateful ones, a clod of earth and gold, etc. The seeker who has conquered his senses, is knowledgeable and has mastered the self, should always practice yoga until he achieves its mastery. One who is distressed, tired, agitated, hungry, or restless should not practice yoga. In extreme cold or heat, in places with excessive fire, wind or water, where there's much noise, in a dilapidated place, near a cowshed, near fire, water, a well, a crematorium, river, a wall, where dry leaves rustle, under a sacred tree, in an anthill, or in a place haunted by spirits, a yogi devoted to meditation should not practice yoga. Relax of memory, muteness, deafness, slowness, fever, inertia, these are all defects that arise in a yogi from ignorance regarding yoga practice. A yoga practitioner should abandon all these defective places. Failing to do so surely leads to defects like memory loss. O king, the yogi should always eat little, not remain without food, not sleep too much, nor stay too awake. By always practicing yoga in this manner, he attains perfection. He should abandon all desires and cravings, eat sparingly, be vigilant, control all senses with his intellect, and gradually withdraw from sensory objects. Wherever the mind goes, pull it back from there and with patience bring it under control, for it is very restless. The yogi, always doing this, attains supreme peace and sees the world in himself and himself in the world. By yoga, he who attains me, I respectfully attain him, and he who does not abandon me, I do not abandon him and liberate him from the world. He who sees all beings with the same soul in happiness and sorrow, hatred, hunger, contentment and thirst, who knows me as the all-pervading, and who is solely attached to me, he is liberated while living, and is worthy of salutations from deities like Brahma in the three worlds. King Varenya spoke, O Lord, I see both kinds of yoga as extremely difficult because the mind is very wicked and fickle, and controlling it is hard. Ganesha said, O king, he who governs this hard-to-control mind, he becomes free from this wheel of worldly existence, which spins like a potter's wheel. This firm wheel is made of objects of senses, fixed well with the nails of actions. Therefore, ordinary men are not capable of piercing through it. Extreme suffering, dispassion, abandonment of the thirst for enjoyments, the grace of a guru, and the company of the holy. These are the means to conquer the mind. Through practice for the attainment of yoga, control the mind. O Varenya, without conquering the mind, yoga practice is extremely difficult. Varenya said, O Lord, what world does the one who has fallen from yoga attain? What is his fate, and what fruit does he receive? O omniscient one, O holder of the wheel of intellect, dispel my doubt. Ganesha said, O king, those who have slipped from yoga, taking a divine body, go to heaven. There they enjoy superior pleasure. Then again take birth in the lineage of pure conducted yogis, and then, due to the impressions of previous lives, they become yogis. No one who performs meritorious actions goes to hell. King of men, a yogic practitioner is superior to practitioners steadfast in knowledge, austere practices, and actions, and my devotee is the most superior among all of them. Thus ends chapter 142, named Praise of the Practice of Yoga, in the Kridakhanda of the glorious Ganesha Purana. Ganesha Gita, Chapter 6. Ganesha introduces his true form to King Varenya. Ganesha said, "O king, by fixing your mind on me in this manner, know the truth about me, upon knowing which you will understand me as all-pervading and truly know me, thereby becoming liberated. O king, for those who wish to shower grace upon others, I describe that truth for you, upon knowing which there is no need to seek another means for liberation. First, one should know my prakriti nature, which leads to knowledge. By knowing this, beings attain the prosperity of supreme knowledge. Earth, fire, ether, ego, water, mind, intellect, air, sun, moon, and sacrificer. These are my 11 kinds of prakriti. Moreover, as the wise ones explain my other prakriti, which has the quality of movement, that which has obtained life and pervades the 3 worlds, is my second prakriti. From these 2 prakritis, the whole animate and inanimate world arises, and I am the creator of this world's creation, preservation, and destruction. For those striving to know my essence, according to the fruits of their past actions, one of them performs some effort. Among those diligent ones, someone sees me directly, sees no other apart from me, and sees the entirety of the world in me. I exist as fragrance in earth, as radiance in fire, as light in the sun and the moon, as taste in water, as knowledge, asceticism, and strength in the wise, ascetics, and the strong, and in the 3 qualities sattva, rajas, tamas that originated from me, I am present. But the sinful ones with minds deluded by Maya do not recognize me. The prakriti with 3 qualities continues to enchant the 3 worlds. He who knows my essence abandons all delusion, and upon knowing me through several births, a person becomes liberated. He who worships various deities, to those deities he goes. People worship me with a particular mindset, and I fulfill their intent accordingly. I am known to all, yet no one knows me fully. Those with sight clouded by desire do not know me, the manifested form of the unmanifested. To the ignorant and sinful men I am not revealed. O king, he who, filled with faith, remembers me at his end while relinquishing his body, he, by my grace, becomes liberated. Remembering any deity with devotion, at the time of death, O king, one attains that deity's realm by their devotion. Therefore, O king, my many forms should be remembered day and night. In that way, as water flows to the sea, I am attained in that manner, having attained the realms like Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Indra, etc. One takes birth again in the cycle of the world. But who attains me with undivided devotion, he is not born again. O king, who worships me with unswerving devotion, I always ensure his well-being and security. O king, men have 2 types of journeys, one through dark ignorance and bright knowledge paths. One leads to rebirth in the world, and the other leads to the attainment of the supreme Brahman. Thus, in the Kridakhanda of the Ganesha Purana, the description of the path of yoga, named chapter 143, is complete. Ganesha Gita, chapter 7, the chapter describing the essence of yoga to King Varenya, by Ganesha. King Varenya said, "O one with the elephant face, to whom do we refer as the white or black journey? What is Brahman? What is samsara? Please explain all this to me out of kindness." Sri Ganesha spoke. The journey through fire, light, and day is called Shukla Gati, or the white journey, which occurs during Uttarayan, the northward journey of the sun. Through the moon, light, smoke, and night, it is called Krishna Gati, or the black journey, known as Dakshinayan, the southward journey of the sun. These 2 journeys are the causes of the attainment of Brahman, or samsara, according to one's actions. Know all this, including what is invisible and visible, as Brahman. The 5 elements are considered perishable. After them is the imperishable, and beyond both is the pure, eternal Brahman. Samsara is considered the cycle of rebirths from many lives. Those who don't accept me are bound to samsara. Those who offer me worship with materials like clarified butter and others correctly achieve the supreme Brahman through their devotion. With a bath, clothes, adornments, superior fragrances, incense, lamps, offerings, fruit, betel, donations, with devotion as one in mind, who worships me, I fulfill his desires. Thus, my devotee should worship me daily with devotion. Or, with a steady mind, he should perform mental worship. Or, with effort, even with water, leaves, flowers, or roots, one who worships me gains the desired fruits. Among the 3 types of worship, mental worship is the best. If conducted without desire, it is the most superior. Whether a brahmachari, householder, forest dweller, or monk, even any person who offers worship only to me, without engaging in other practices, still achieves accomplishment. He who worships another deity with hostility or envy towards me or others, he will suffer in hell for 1,000 spans of time. First, perform the purification of elements, then practice pranayama. After controlling the fluctuations of the mind, perform the imposition nyasa, first internal mantra imposition, and then external and the imposition of 6 limbs. After that, meditate upon the root mantra. Chant the mantra heard from the Guru's mouth with a steady mind. Dedicate the japa to the deity, and then praise with many hymns. In this way, my devotee attains the eternal liberation. He who is devoid of worship is to be condemned. His birth is in vain. Sacrifices, herbs, mantras, fire, gay, oblations, and offerings, all these are my forms. Meditate. Object of meditation, eulogy, hymn, salutation, devotion, worship, knowable by the 3 Vedas, sacred, grandfather of Brahma, all these are indeed me. Omkar, purifier, witness, Lord, friend, movement, dissolution, creation, nourishment, seed, refuge, in the same manner as well as all acts, truth, falsehood, death, immortality, soul, Brahman, charity, fire, sacrifice, penance, devotion, chanting, self-study, all these are me. Whatever actions are done, dedicate all to me. Even women, wrongdoers, sinners, or kshatriyas, vaishyas, or shudras who take refuge in me, become liberated. Then what to speak of twice-born devotees? My devotee, knowing these manifestations of mine, never perishes. Even deities and seers do not know my origin or my manifestations. I am spread out in the universe through various manifestations. Whatever is best in this world, know them all to be my manifestations. Understand thus. Thus, in the Kridakhanda of the Ganesha Purana, the chapter named The Description of the Path of Yoga is concluded. Ganesha Gita, Chapter 8, Sri Ganesha showing his cosmic form to King Varenya. King Varenya said, O Lord, from Narada's mouth I have heard of your many manifestations. He told me that he knows some of them, but only you know all of them in truth. O elephant-faced one, you alone truly know all those. Now show me your captivating and expansive form. Sri Ganesha spoke. In me alone see this entire animate and inanimate world, and see many kinds of divine wonders which no one has seen before. By my power, I grant you the eyes of wisdom, for the all-pervasive, unborn, and imperishable me cannot be seen with physical eyes. Vyasaji said. Then King Varenya, having acquired divine vision, became capable of seeing the great astonishing supreme form of Lord Ganesha, with countless radiant faces, trunks and arms, anointed with fragrances, adorned with divine ornaments, garments, and garlands, with countless eyes, holding weapons as bright as tens of millions of suns, in the body of that elephant-faced god. The king saw the three worlds distinctly. After seeing this supreme form of the Lord, bowing in reverence, the King Varenya said, "O Lord, in your body I see gods, sages, ancestors. O Lord, I see 7 netherworlds, 7 seas, 7 islands, 7 mountains, 7 great sages, and many groups of things. I see the earth, the sky, heaven, humans, serpents, demons, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesha, Indra, deities, and many kinds of creatures. I am seeing you, who are without beginning or end, the origin of the worlds, with endless arms and heads, glowing like blazing fire, ancient and immeasurable. I see you, the Lord, wearing crowns and earrings, difficult to behold, joy-giving, and with a vast chest. Your form is served by deities, Vidyataras, Yakshas, Kinnaras, sages, humans, dancing apsaras, and singing Gandharvas. The 8 Vasas, the group of 12 Adityas, Siddhas, Sadhyas, they all serve you with great devotion and joy, and they are looking at you in astonishment. They know you as the knower, the imperishable, knowledgeable in Vedas, the protector of righteousness, pervasive in the netherworlds, directions, heavens and earth, and as the Lord, seeing your form, the whole world and I are terrified. Your mouth is frightening with many sharp teeth, and you are the master of various sciences. Your mouth is as radiant as the fire of destruction. Your form is intricate and touches the sky. O Ganesha, seeing this form of yours, I am bewildered. Deities, humans, serpents, and birds rest in your belly. They experience various births, and in the end enter into you, just as water droplets from clouds born of the sea merge back into it. Indra, Agni, Yama, Nirti, Varuna, Vayu, Kubera, Ishana, Soma, Surya, and the whole world. All these are you alone, O Master. I bow to you. Please now show me your kindness. Please show me your gentle form that I have seen before. O great being, who can fathom your play which you perform according to your will? By your grace I have seen this magnificent form, because you, becoming pleased, granted me the eyes of wisdom. Sri Ganesha spoke, O mighty armed one, those who do not practice yoga never get to see this form of mine. Only the likes of Sanaka and others, and Narada by my grace witness this form. Even those who understand the essence of the 4 Vedas, are skilled in all scriptures, perform sacrifices, give in charity, and practice penance, they do not truly know my form. I am to be known, seen, and attained through devotion. Now cast away fear and confusion, and behold my gentle form. O King, those devotees who are solely dedicated to me, renouncing all attachments, offering all their actions to me, and who see all beings with an equal eye, abandoning anger, they attain me. Thus, in the Kridakhanda of the Sri Ganesha Purana, the chapter named The Vision of the Universal Form is completed. Ganesha Gita, Chapter 9, The Supremacy of Saguna Worship, Description of Kshetra, Knowledge and the Knowable. King Varenya said, O Lord, those who worship you with devotion as having form, and those who worship you as the imperishable, supreme, unmanifest, who among them is superior, O omniscient one, you are the witness of all, the sustainer of beings, O Lord. Thus I ask you, please tell me out of kindness. Sri Ganesha spoke, the devotee who with a focused mind worships my manifested form with devotion, such a devoted one with exclusive faith is particularly dear to me. He who, controlling all senses, does good to all creatures, meditates on the imperishable, unmanifest, all-pervading, and unchangeable Brahman, which is difficult to know, and worships me, he too attains me, and I also rescue him from the ocean of worldly existence. Those who worship the unmanifest Brahman suffer more hardships. What is attained by devotion to the manifest form is also attained through the worship of the unmanifest. Even one with little knowledge, if full of devotion, is superior among all scholars. Here, devotion is the main reason. One who worships without devotion is like an outcast, and one who, even born as an outcast, worships me with devotion is superior to that Brahmin. Sages like Shuka, Sanaka, and others have been liberated through devotion, and through devotion, Narada and the ever-living Markandeya and others have attained me. Therefore, O king, you should fix your mind and intellect in me with devotion. If you worship me with devotion, you will attain me, O king. If you cannot fix your mind on me, then strive to attain me through the yoga of practice. And if that too is not possible, then perform actions and dedicate them to me by my grace. You will attain supreme peace. And if even this you cannot do, then with effort, renounce the fruits of all three types of actions. Firstly, fixing the intellect on me is superior. Better than that is meditation. Better than meditation is the renunciation of all actions, and from this renunciation comes the most excellent peace. He who is devoid of ego, free from possessiveness, does not harbor hate, is compassionate to all, and views gain and loss, happiness and distress, honor and dishonor with equanimity, he is dear to me. He from whose sight none feels fear, and who does not feel fear from anyone, who is free from agitation, fear, anger, and excessive joy, he is my beloved. One whose mind remains the same towards friend and foe, in slander and praise, in joy and sorrow, who is silent, of steady mind, full of devotion, and unattached, he is dear to me. He who follows this teaching of mine is worthy of reverence in the three worlds, and that liberated soul is always dear to me. He who does not rejoice in gaining what is desirable, nor grieves in obtaining what is undesirable, and knows the field Kshetra, and the knower of the field Kshetrajna, he is most dear to me. Varanya said, O elephant-faced one, what is the field, and who is its knower? And what is that knowledge? O ocean of mercy, tell me who is asking all this. Sri Ganesha spoke. Earth, water, and the other five great elements, their corresponding subtle elements like smell, taste, etc., the five organs of action, ego, mind, intellect, the five sense organs, the unmanifest original nature, desire, resolution, hate, joy, and sorrow, along with consciousness, this entire group is called the field. O king, know me as the knower of that field, the inner controller, and all-pervading. Both I and this aggregate are subjects of knowledge. Simplicity, service to the Guru, dispassion towards sense objects, purity, forbearance, renunciation of hypocrisy, seeing faults like birth and death, equanimity, firm devotion, solitude, and the knowledge that includes self-control and mental tranquility. Understand that as true knowledge, O king. O king, I am going to tell you about the subject of this knowledge. Listen, by knowing which you will be freed from the worldly ocean and become liberated. That which is beginningless without senses, the enjoyer of qualities like sattva, rajas, and tamas, yet devoid of qualities, unmanifest, beyond being and non-being, the illuminator of sense objects. That which supports the universe is all-pervading, one yet appears in many forms, is complete inside and out, unattached and beyond darkness. It is not known due to its extreme subtlety. It illuminates even the lights. Thus know the ancient Purusha, knowable through knowledge as the knowable Brahman. This is the supreme Brahman. This is the soul, the highest, the imperishable, and known as the Purusha beyond nature. It enjoys the qualities that arise from nature. It is these three qualities of nature that bind this Purusha in the body. When there is an increase in peace and illumination in the body, then the predominance of the sattva quality is understood. Greed, unrest, desire, and the undertaking of actions, these are the characteristics of the Rajo quality. Delusion, laziness, ignorance, and negligence, know these as the qualities of tamas. When sattva is predominant, there is attainment of happiness and knowledge. When rajas is predominant, there is action, and when tamas is predominant, there is sleep and laziness other than happiness. By the increase of these three, humans attain liberation, worldly life, and degradation respectively. Therefore, O king, be endowed with the sattva quality, O sovereign of men. Therefore worship me, the Supreme Soul, present everywhere, with unwavering devotion in all forms. O king, know the brilliance in fire, the sun, the moon, the stars, and in learned Brahmins as my brilliance. I alone give birth to the entire universe, cause its destruction, and nourish the world with my brilliance. As the deities presiding over the senses, I govern the senses, and I, as the fire in the belly, digest the eaten and drunk, being free from virtue and vice. I am Vishnu, Rudra, Brahma, Gauri, and Ganesha, and deities like Indra and the guardians of the worlds have originated from my parts. In whichever form beings worship me with devotion, I show them that form according to their devotion. O king, thus I have described to you the field, the knower, the knowledge, and the knowable, as you inquired. Thus, in the Kridakhanda of the Sri Ganesha Purana, the chapter named The Discernment of the Field, the Knower, and the Knowable is completed. Ganesha Gita, Chapter 10, The Divine, Demonic, and Devilish Natures. Sri Ganesha spoke, "There are three types of human nature, divine, demonic, and devilish. Now I will describe in brief their fruits and signs for you. The divine nature leads to liberation, while the next two bring about bondage. First, I will tell you the signs of the divine nature. Listen to them. Backbiting not, compassion, patience, lack of anger, steadiness, courage, simplicity, vigor, fearlessness, non-violence, forgiveness, cleanliness, humility, etc. are to be understood as signs of divine nature. Now hear the signs of demonic nature. O king, excessive argument, pride, arrogance, ignorance, and anger. These are the signs of demonic nature. The signs of devilish nature are cruelty, intoxication, delusion, ego, pride, envy, violence, harshness, wrath, arrogance, lack of modesty, engaging in black magic to harm others, fondness for cruel deeds, disbelief in the words of great men, impurity, not performing duties, criticizing the Vedas, devotees, deities, sages, Vedic Brahmins, Smritis, and Puranas, belief in hypocrisy, associating with wicked and impure individuals, performing actions with hypocrisy, desiring others' possessions, having many desires, always lying, not tolerating others' prosperity, and destroying others' works, etc., are many other qualities of the devilish nature. All these qualities exist in the earth and heaven realms. Those who are devoid of my devotion attain the devilish nature. O king, those who take refuge in this tamasic nature go to the Rorava hell and suffer unspeakable misery there. O king, those tamasic individuals, under divine influence, after emerging from hell, are born on earth in lower castes, blind, crippled, hunchbacked, and wretched. Those who engage in sinful deeds, and those who do not have devotion to me, fall into degradation, but my devotees, even if born in any species, do not perish, they are redeemed. O king, through sacrifices or other actions, heaven is attained, which is easily accessible to men with desires, but devotion to me is rare. Foolish people get entangled in the web of delusion, and their own actions, they say, I am the slayer, I am the doer, I am the enjoyer, thinking I am the Lord, I am the ruler, I am the knower, I am the happy one. Such thinking leads humans to hell. Therefore, abandon this tamasic nature and take refuge in the divine nature, and with a firm mind, practice my devotion incessantly. O King, that devotion is also of three types: sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. The devotion with which deities are worshipped is known as beneficial sattvic devotion. The devotion that causes birth and death is called rajasic, where all kinds of yakshas and demons are solely worshipped. Those people who, devoid of Vedic injunctions, with cruelty, ego, and arrogance, worship ghosts and spirits, engage in lustful acts, and with stubbornness torment their bodies, and me residing within, their devotion is tamasic and leads to hell. Lust, greed, anger, pride, these are the four great gates to hell, therefore one should abandon them. Thus, in the Kridakhanda of the Ganesha Purana, the chapter named The Description of Yoga Instructions is completed. Ganesha Gita, Chapter 11, Austerity, Charity, Knowledge, Action, Doer, Happiness, Sorrow, Brahman, and Duties, according to Varna, and the glory of the Ganesha Gita. Sri Ganesha spoke. O King, austerity is also of three kinds by the distinctions of physical, verbal, and mental: straightforwardness, simplicity, purity, celibacy, non-violence, worship of gurus, pandits, brahmins, and deities, and constant adherence to one's own dharma. This is physical austerity. Speaking words that are not hurtful but pleasant, devoid of agitation, beneficial and truthful, and reciting Vedas and scriptures, this is verbal austerity. Cheerfulness within the heart, peace, silence, self-control, always maintaining a pure disposition, this is mental austerity. The austerity performed without desire for fruits, and with faith, is sattvic. The austerity done for the sake of opulence, respect, and with pride is rajasic. Rajasic austerity certainly leads to birth-death cycles and instability. The austerity that causes pain to others and oneself is called tamasic. That charity given with faith to a worthy recipient at an appropriate place and time is known as sattvic charity. Charity given for the sake of return favor or desired fruits, or given with distress or out of duty, is called rajasic charity. Charity given without considering the place or time, to an unworthy recipient, disrespectfully, or given with contempt, is known as tamasic charity. O King, listen attentively. Knowledge is also of three types. Action and the doer are also of three types, which I shall now describe in context. Relaxed he who sees only me in all the diverse beings, and knows me as the eternal, imperishable beings. O King, that is sattvic knowledge. Those who know me as separate and unchangeable from those many beings, this knowledge is called rajasic. Engaging in matters that are baseless, untrue, and aimed at fleeting and petty pleasures of the body and mind, is called tamasic knowledge. O King, actions are also of three types according to the distinctions of sattva, rajas, and tamas, which I will describe. Listen. Actions performed without desire for the fruits, devoid of attachment, hatred, and pride, are known as sattvic. That action which is done with great effort, with a desire for fruits, and performed with vanity, is called rajasic action. And that action which is undertaken ignorantly, beyond one's capacity, causing loss of wealth, is known as tamasic action. Similarly, O King, there are three types of doers, which I shall now explain. That doer who is endowed with patience and enthusiasm, views success and failure equally, and is free from attachment and ego, is called a sattvic doer. He who acts with joy and sorrow, inclined towards violence, desires the fruits of actions, and is impure and greedy, is known as a rajasic doer, one who is negligent, ignorant, destructive towards others, wicked, lazy, and argumentative, is called a tamasic doer. O king, likewise, happiness and sorrow are also of three kinds. Listen to them in order, for they too have sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic distinctions, which I will now describe. That which at first seems like poison but ends like nectar, which is sought by an intellect aimed at the ultimate truth, bringing an end to sorrow, and is ultimately joyful to the intellect, is called sattvic happiness. Happiness from the senses that initially seems like nectar but ends like poison, that is known as rajasic happiness. That which arises from sleepiness and negligence, is filled with sloth, and constantly induces delusion within oneself, is named tamasic happiness. There isn't any being that is free from these three qualities. O king, even Brahman is of three kinds, Om, Tat, and Sat. And O king, in these three worlds, everything is encompassed by three: Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. They perform different actions by their nature, and I briefly tell you their duties. Controlling both external and internal senses, simplicity, forgiveness, various forms of penance, purity, knowledge of the self through both direct and indirect means, knowledge of the Vedas, scriptures, Puranas, and Smritis, and practicing their meanings. These are the duties of a Brahmin. Firmness, bravery, cleverness, not fleeing from battle, protection of those seeking refuge, charity, patience, innate vigor, lordship, generosity of mind, good policy, governance of the people, and state administration. These are the natural duties of Kshatriyas. Trading various goods, agriculture, and protection of cows, these are declared as the three types of duties for Vaishyas. O king, giving charity, serving Brahmins, and always worshipping Lord Shiva, this is said to be the duty of Shudras. O king, by performing their respective duties as prescribed and dedicating all actions to me, they attain the unwavering supreme state by my grace. Dear king, thus, out of affection for you, I have described in detail, with all its parts, the eternal yoga, which is proven from the beginning. This yoga is the most supreme. O king, adopt this yoga that I have spoken of, and do not reveal it to anyone. By keeping it secret, you will achieve the highest perfection. Vyasa said, hearing these words of the great-souled Ganesha with a delighted mind, King Varenya acted according to his words. Renouncing his kingdom and family, he swiftly went to the forest, engaged in the yoga as instructed, and attained liberation. He who listens to this great secret yoga with faith also attains liberation, for he becomes like a yogi. The wise one who thoroughly understands the essence of this yoga and teaches it to others also attains liberation, becoming like a yogi. He who studies this Gita well, understands its meaning from a guru, worships Ganesha, and recites it daily during 1, 2, or all 3 times of the day, attains the form of Brahman, and even by his sight a person gets liberated. Neither yajna, nor vows, nor charity, nor agnihotra, nor great wealth, elaborate rituals performed with vast expenditure, nor the supreme knowledge and practice of the Vedas with all their limbs, nor listening to the Puranas, nor thoughtful consideration of the scriptures can grant Brahma like this Gita does to humans. Even those guilty of great sins like Brahmahatya, killing a Brahmin, drinking alcohol, theft, going to the wife of the guru, associating with these 4 great sinners, and those committing sins like violence against women, cow slaughter, etc., become free from sins by reading this Gita. He who reads it regularly with discipline becomes undoubtedly like Sri Ganesha, and he who reads it with devotion on the day of Chaturthi also attains liberation. One who goes to those holy places, bathes, worships Ganesha, and even once recites this Gita with devotion, attains the form of Brahman. In the bright half of the Bhadrapada month, On the day of Chaturthi, one who makes a four-armed clay statue of Sri Ganesha, along with his vehicle and weapons, worships it according to the rituals, and with devotion recites this Ganesha Gita 7 times. Ganesha, being pleased, grants him sons, grandsons, wealth, grains, cattle, gems, and excellent enjoyments. A student attains knowledge. One seeking pleasure gains happiness. One desiring fulfillment of various desires achieves them, and in the end they attain liberation. Thus I have told you all Gita teachings. What else would you like to hear? Thus concludes the 148th chapter named The Determination of Threefold Entities in the Kridakhanda of the glorious Ganesha Purana. Ganesha Gita. Present you by GaneshaGita.com. By HinduMonastery.com. You can redistribute the material in any medium or format.